It's like, damn if I do, damn if I don't.
Micah Parsons is getting way too much heat, and it's completely unfair. And this is coming from someone who's critical of the would-be Dallas Cowboys leader on the defensive side of the ball and the would-be face of the Dallas Cowboys. And I say would-be because the Cowboys themselves are kind of being unfair with Micah Parsons because they themselves, they being the front office, are putting his future in doubt, and they just playing games that they don't need to play with this dude. But overall, I think Micah Parsons is getting a bad rap, and he's definitely entering a territory where damned if he do, damned if he don't. He's definitely entering the Dak Prescott zone. The Dak Prescott zone is you can do everything right and still be wrong. You can do the opposite of what you were doing that was supposed to be right that was wrong, and guess what? Still be wrong. Micah Parsons is in that zone now, ladies and gentlemen, and he's starting to express this on his podcast, which is part of the root of the issue. But again, everybody's doing it, so you can't be mad. You can be upset about the subject matter at times. You can't be mad about the actual enterprise. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into today's show that's all about Micah Parsons, whether or not he'll actually be a Dallas Cowboy for the foreseeable future, and just the perception around the star player of the Cowboys. But first, a word from our sponsors, BetUS, America's favorite sports book. Using BetUS, you can bet on your favorite NFL matchups, including the Dallas Cowboys versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers next week, in which the Dallas Cowboys are currently a 4-point underdog. You can bet on money line, point spread, parlays, whatever you want to do. You can do all that with BetUS. And you can use promo code YouTube150 to get a 150% first-time deposit match bonus when you first sign up with BetUS up to the first 3 deposits. Again, appreciate BetUS for sponsoring this video. Now let's get back into the show. So what do you do if you're Micah Parsons? What do you do if you're on the sideline and you smile and you trade jerseys after the game and then fans criticize you and they drag you through the mud? Rightfully so. For that type of stuff, you shouldn't be smiling and joking amidst the blowout. Nobody wants to see their best players, their leaders, trading jerseys after the games when we're getting our asses beat by 20, 30 points. Nobody wants to see that, man. So rightfully so with that. But what are you to do when you get drugged for that, but then you also get drugged because you showed emotion on the sideline, you showed passion on the sideline, you showed that you were upset on the sideline, you showed that you maybe were a little embarrassed because you truly believe that you can help get this team to the playoffs, and when you realize that that dream was essentially done, you were emotional, you were distraught, you were beside yourself, you walked off the field crying a little bit, and you could see the passion come through. But yet fans and media members still have an issue with even that. He should have stayed on the field. It's not good sportsman. Shut up! I don't need my defenders to be good sportsmen. I don't need my defenders to be politicians. I need my defenders to be eating steaks with their fingers. I need my defenders to be absolute cavemen. I need these dudes to be Neanderthals on the field. I need them to be savages out there. I don't need my defenders trying to walk around being cute and pretty and trying to be the next president of the United States. I don't need Mike out there doing all that. And nobody, if you're a Cowboys fan, should have had an issue with this man showing some passion. Nobody, if you're a Cowboys fan, should have an issue with Micah Parsons still wanting to win, especially when he's able to articulate himself so well and give a really good reason as to why it is important the Cowboys continue to win, especially coming from the perspective of a leader on this team. And I know a lot of people don't want to hear it. And I know even myself have had some critiques about his leadership, and I think they were fair critiques. I'm going to say that right now. I'm not taking none of it back. They were fair critiques. Because again, I am not going to sit here and just coddle these dudes and say everything that they freaking doing is right. Because that's not the case, bruh. They were very fair critiques. But at times, people go too far. I feel like people are going too far with Micah, especially since he's been back from his injury. Because I feel like in large part, outside of the McCarthy comment, there really hasn't been much about Micah Parsons, his presence, what he's shown, what he said, what he's doing. There hasn't been much to really criticize, to be completely honest, if you're being fair to this guy. And he gave us this quote after the Carolina Panthers game. At the end of the day, I always look at it like I'm me. And if you put that out there, that's your characteristics as far as going out there and trying to tank. You gave up before in life. Me personally, I've never given up on anything in life, anything I ever truly wanted. So to me, I'm always going to keep fighting and clawing. But that's part of the journey. You know how much better of a team we'll be if we say, damn, we went 9-8. We missed 10 starters and we're playing this good. The momentum you have going into next year, and then say, yo, we've been there before. Like, that's part of the mountain. That's part of the journey. There's a downfall in every story. We was climaxing and we had to fall. We failed big, but I know what time it is. I'm looking forward to finishing this year off strong and coming back next year. This to me was a perfect quote. This was a perfect quote for Micah Parsons, just all around. I know usually I'm the type of guy that I'll analyze different things the guys are saying and try to figure out exactly what they mean. He was very clear here. I don't think there's anything to analyze. This is a perfect quote for Micah Parsons. There's nothing that you can extrapolate from this. There's nothing that you can try to create from this. It's very clear. I'm a leader of this team. I want my guys to get into winning habits, and if we can overcome this, and if we can establish some winning habits in this type of season, then the sky is the limit. And I absolutely understand that line of thinking, because that instills that confidence. That instills that confidence in the recesses of these guys' mind when they're not even thinking about it subconsciously. It gives them that confidence to feel like they've been through worse. They can make it through this. So yes, this could have a positive impact mentally, just on the mental strength of this team and the character of this Dallas Cowboys team, this current iteration of the Dallas Cowboys. This type of season, if finished out positively, could absolutely have a positive impact on the character, the culture of this team. And I think as fans, that's one of the things that we have always been very, very strong about, had very strong opinions about, is wanting this team to establish a healthier culture, to establish a healthier character, to establish a grittier type of character. And this is the type of stuff right here that you want to hear. This is the type of stuff you want to see, and this is the type of situation that kind of stuff can come from. So I absolutely have no issues with Micah Parsons saying this type of stuff. Now, what I do have an issue with is this man right here, Stephen Jones, coming out and talking about Micah Parsons' job security with the Dallas Cowboys, talking about how they were all in on Dak and CD. But after that, then you still shape things, including Micah. What is there to shape with Micah Parsons? This defense has looked night and day since Micah Parsons has been back. Yes, the very first game they missed without Micah Parsons, they were okay. They kind of staved the ship a little bit. But after that, it was very clear. They had nothing. They had no one else creating any type of pressure. They didn't have any explosive factors on the side of the defense. They had nothing, and Micah Parsons has come back and he's completely changed the energy that this defense is playing with, just from an overall standpoint, because other things are opening up for guys. He's making the game easier for guys around him, and at the end of the day, that's all you can ask your best players to do, is to handle their responsibilities and help make the game easier for guys that may be a little bit less talented than them. And Micah Parsons being back has absolutely helped make the game a little bit easier. His pressures and getting the quarterbacks out the pocket has absolutely helped some of these other guys make plays. It's absolutely helped force some of these interceptions, some of these fumbles. It's absolutely helped having Micah Parsons on the field. And what doesn't help as it pertains to team morale and trying to build culture is when your players are saying all the right things, but then your front office comes back and they come right behind them and they start talking about how, oh, after that you still shape things, including Micah. But Micah's a great player. You don't do well in this league letting guys like Micah usually leave the house. You also don't do well in this league talking about letting guys like Micah leave the house. You also don't do well in any aspect of life talking about the grass being greener when the grass is sitting there right in front of you, listening to you talking about how green the other grass could be. What is wrong with this front office, man? Look, these guys have diarrhea of the mouth. They can't help themselves but letting this brown, stanky bullshit fly out their mouths anytime they're in front of a microphone. Why are you even putting this in the air? Why are you putting this in the atmosphere? Why are you instilling any type of doubt into your guys? And I know Micah is probably not too worried about this, but I do know that Micah is also very aware of everything that's being said and what's going on the internet. And you're crazy if you don't think that he's a sensitive enough guy, because he is. You don't think that he's a sensitive enough guy to where he's going to think about this and be like, damn, why are they even talking about whether or not I'm going to be here? And you can take that kind of stuff personal. As a player, you can take that type of stuff personal as an employee. If your boss is openly walking around talking about how he's not sure if he can afford to pay you as much as he's paying you, or as much as you're going to be worth, that's going to cause doubt for you as an employee no matter where you're working, man. So it's this type of stuff right here, bro, is just completely unfair to Micah Parsons. The narratives that have started to form about Micah Parsons. Oh, he's acting for the camera. He's being fake passionate. Like, what are we talking about, bro? Who is Micah? Is Micah Parsons Denzel Washington? Have y'all seen him podcast? And no disrespect to Micah. If anything, I'm defending you right here. But we've seen Micah Parsons podcasting, man. He's not that great of an actor, bro. I think Micah was legitimately upset, and I think it's just ridiculous that we as a Cowboys fan base, we try our hardest. We overextend. We stretch stretch. We reach so far to find any negative narrative we can possibly cling on to as it pertains to our star players. And I just absolutely cannot understand the obsession with trying to beat down on our best guys. Again, yes, I've had some critiques about Micah Parsons and how he's moved, but my critiques have been more so about him being a young man and just understanding what perception is and how to control that, man. My critiques have been more so about trying to help equip this man. If he were to ever come across these videos and he listened to it in full, he would be better equipped to deal with different stuff in the future, just because he has something else to think about. You know, so he just has another perspective to think about, something else to take into mind for him to be calculated with. That's it, man. But this type of stuff that we've been seeing with the fan base, this type of stuff we're seeing with the Joneses now in the front office, even slightly discussing that they may need to move on from Micah Parsons because maybe it's not so smart paying all these. No, you pay your damn guys and you still figure out another way to pay more guys. That's like everybody else is doing, man. This is ridiculous, bro. I just wish our fan base would stop going for this stuff, man. I wish our fan base would stop feeding to this. We got way too many Jerry Jones loyalists. You know what? As many Cowboys fans as we have way too many Jones family fans as well. Because people confuse being a Cowboys fan with being a fan of the Joneses. And that is not one and the same. But we stink. Same old Cowboys. Micah, keep your head up, brother. From my view, from where I'm standing, from where I'm sitting, I feel like you've taken some strides in the leadership department. I feel like you've shown plenty of positive aspects of what you bring to an organization that more than overshadows some of the slight inconveniences you may bring with a weird quote here and there or a podcast episode people might not like. I think the positives you bring to the Cowboy organization far outweigh any perceived negatives, and that is what it is. So next time,
calling me, texting me, paging me, asking me, am I still them boys? Y'all usually check on me. Listen. I'm still them boys. Hey! Woo! Oh, shut up, my boy. Hey! I'm still them boys.